Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Belu Badila. In these occasions, I would like to present about one of the teaching method that's called as a silent way. A silent way is also known as silent EFL or English as a foreign language teaching method. This method is developed by Caleb Gattegno as an educational theorist in 1960. This instructional approach emphasizes on two aspects: learners' autonomy and also the discovery of language on their own. And this silent way method differs with the traditional method. Here are the difference both traditional method and silent way method. Traditional method put the teachers as the centers of learning process, while silent way method put the students as the centers of learning process. And here are six key principles in the silent way method. The first is teacher silence. Yes, it can be inferred from the names of this method itself, a silent way. So it encouraged the teacher to be silent, to take a bigger portions to be silent in the class. So it is related with the name of this method itself. And then the second is learner autonomy. It has already mentioned before that this method is put the students as the center in the learning process. So this method encourage the students to learn, to have a bigger responsibility on their own, to discover a language in their own learning. And then the third is color coded questionnaire routes. This is a means that is used to help this method. This color coded questionnaire route is used to representative to instruct some signs from the pronunciations or grammatical rule. And then the next is inductive learning. So in this method, the students encourage to find the language pattern or the language by their own through observations and also experiments. So rather than give a direct explanation, the teacher encourage the students to study and discover the language pattern by their own. And then the next is correcting mechanism. Here is the in this when applying this method, the teachers give a correction mechanism, while a peer corrections all are so self corrections. It also included in this method because practically in the class when the students answer or read uh, about something in the target language and then there is a wrong pronunciations, the teachers correct them by showing the color coded questionnaire route. So it helped them to correct what they have said. And then the next is pronunciation focus. So in this method, silent way method is uh, very give a concern to study about pronunciation and also the phonetic symbols. And then here are some advantages of uh, silent way method. The first is promotes learner autonomy and active engagement. Yes, because these put students as the center in the learning process. So it encourages the students to become a learner autonomy and take actively participate in the learning process. And then the next is encourages problem solving and critical thinking skills. Yes, absolutely, because when the teacher is silent and correcting them through the case to the color coded Kaisner road, it encouraged the students to find out what is the corrections of their pronunciations or their answer. So they need to find the correct answer. It encourage their critical thinking skills. And then the next is fosters a student-centered learning environment. Yes, because this method is applied to make a students actively participate in the learning process so they can take a responsibility for their learning. And then the next is provides opportunities for individualized instructions. Yes, when the teacher give them corrections, it is more individualized, not in a group. So the students can feel more, have intimate instructions in their learning process so that the students can catch it catch it more rather than in a group instructions. So the next is develops accurate pronunciation and phonetic awareness. Yes, because this method is emphasized on pronunciations and also the phonetics symbols. And then, but this method also, there is some criticism. These are the first is this approach may be challenging for beginners who require more explicit instructions. So this method is not suitable for the beginner learners who need more instruction, because this method encourages the students to find their learning patterns or their language, target language, like that. So it might be not suitable for them. And then it relies heavily on the teacher's skill in creating a sportive and effective learning environment. Yes, absolutely, because this method is put the students as the center in the learning process, but the the teacher play uh, an important role to conduct or create this class environment to be engaging, like that. And then the focus on pronunciation and physical materials. Yes, absolutely. The as already mentioned before, that this method is might be suitable and also more concerned to pronunciation and also the phonetics. So it might not adequately address to other language skills like reading and writing, like that. So we can mix a combined method to teach these another skills. Okay, those are briefly explanations about a silent way method. Thank you for your attention. May it can be useful for us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.